Life is a choice. We choose one thing over another. We choose whether to have an active life or passive life. Active people are almost always on the move, love sports, and always doing something, while passive people are not doing much at all. Doing something versus doing nothing is the idea behind the active voice and passive voice in English grammar. What is voice? In English grammar, voice is the way you sound when you speak and write your sentences. Ask yourself, when you speak, do you get to the point straight away or do you go around in circles? There are two grammatical voices in English grammar, active voice and passive voice. Let's talk about the active voice. Example, the children eat the cookies. The structure is the children is the subject, eat is the action verb, the cookies is the object. Object is usually a thing. Now, ask a question. What do the children do? The answer is eat the cookies. In the active voice, the focus is on the subject because the subject is doing something. It is the one doing the action. Another example, the builder builds a house. The structure is the subject is a builder, the action is builds, and the object is a house. What does a builder do? Builds a house. The focus is on the subject, the builder, because he is doing something. In the active voice, the subject is doing, doing, doing. The active voice reminds us of the Nike ad, just do it. The passive voice. For example, the children eat the cookies. As discussed, this is in the active voice. The passive voice is the cookies are eaten by the children. Notice that the passive voice is the reverse of the active voice. The cookies, which is the object in the active voice, I repeat, the object in the active voice is now the subject in the passive voice. As the subject, it is the focus in the sentence. So the cookies are eaten by the children. We are interested in the cookies, not in the person who ate them. The subject, cookies, is not doing the action anymore. The subject only tells us what happens. What happens is the cookies are eaten. Another example, the builder builds the house. This is in the active voice. The house is built by the builder. This is a long passive voice. The house is built is a short passive voice. We are interested in the house, not in the person who built it. We are interested in what happens to the house. The house is built. In the passive voice, the subject is not doing an action. Why? Because it is actually an object, a thing. A thing does not move. For example, the house is an object. The house cannot build by itself. It can only be built by a person or a robot. The idea of a passive voice is that the subject does not move at all. That's all. We have talked about the meaning and structure of the active voice and passive voice. Now, how do you form or make sentences in the active or passive voice? How do you change active to passive? Take a look at this chart. Thanks. What's the difference between the active voice and the passive voice? Which voice should you use when you speak and write? At the end of the day, which voice should you choose? Take a look at the differences between the two voices, then you decide for yourself. Although the active voice is the obvious choice, I would like to remind you that the passive voice has a specific purpose, but that's another lesson to talk about. Thank you for watching. Bye for now. See you next time. Keep well.